It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington Commanders. And it's all up next.
Commanders Field holds a little more than 80,000, and they have come out in droves here in Landover, Maryland.
Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and for both of these teams that we're going to see, Charles, the future is kind of right now. You know, this is something you only see a handful of times in an NFL season where you've got a rookie quarterback versus a rookie quarterback.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the era we're in now. Because our dads, they didn't see rookie quarterbacks go against each other. In fact, it could be 2-3 years before they even saw the playing field. Nowadays, you get drafted, they expect you to play earlier, and these guys as competitors, they'll take their lumps early, but they'd rather be on the field.
Here's the former Utah Ute, Matt Gay, to get this one started. And we are underway from Commanders Field. Here's Steven Sims on the return from his end zone. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And leading them out is their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Alabama.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That one good for 37 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. First carry here for Kenneth Walker III. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 9. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Credit the sack to Von Miller.
And every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed him to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Commanders making their way out. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
In motion right, Debo. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
To throw is Daniels.
That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Yeah, big play there. And when you have a running back that you can use like a wide receiver, when he has that kind of versatility, you do as they did there. Get him out of the backfield and give those defensive backs something else to worry about.
They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Throwing now is Daniels.
That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 37. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down.
Robinson up the middle.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Next to receivers, they'll spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
Well, to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Now Daniels. Throws the out route and completes it to Samuel.
And out of bounds right around the 20. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
I'll give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Off the play fake, Daniels.
And it's caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Brown goes in motion left. Daniels looking to throw.
This will be caught at about the 5. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. When you throw it this close to the goal line, usually you're thinking touchdown. Here they actually complete it but lose yardage.
When you're this close to the goal line, you have to anticipate that maybe you're going to see it.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
Austin Eckler
taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Commanders are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it, and he gets it done.
Extra point by Gay is up and good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it's Austin Eckler who finishes things off with a touchdown run.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Dorrance Armstrong
In there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the first quarter.
And, yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. They'll motion McLaurin left.
They begin the drive with Robinson. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
To the air goes Daniels.
Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Second quarter down from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football
as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll drop the throw. Over the middle, finding Smith and Jigba. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 31-yard line. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his one-on-two matchup.
That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 31 yards. And the Seahawks are once again back in front. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. McCaffrey on the return.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Balled at the 26, 2nd and 7. Here's Daniels.
Over the middle here to Brown. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels.
Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Over the middle, complete to Samuel.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Working out of the gun, Daniels.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Robinson will try to pick it up. And Robinson will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack. Going to stop him short of the first.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Daniels going to throw for it. Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one.
So they convert on 4th, and now from just outside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Daniels. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Reek Woolen. And the Seahawks will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Here comes 3rd down and 7.
They'll set up a throw.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. 1st down, Seahawks.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it.
Smith and Jigbo hauling it in on the out route.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score.
2 yards to go, 2nd down.
Back to throw here.
Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down.
They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Here's 3rd and 10.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 26.
A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
2nd and 4. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down. They'll look to throw.
That is caught. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
I know I'm an old defender, but I've got to give credit where credit's due. That was smart play calling right there on 3rd and 4. They didn't need to do too much. Just let their guy get out there and sit down in the zone. And they hit him for the completion for the first down.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw here.
Throw out wide to Walker.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it's 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there as the first half is winding down.
And the Seahawks would extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
The extra point now coming from Myers. It's good to make it 17-7. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Washington going to go on offense one last time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top.
As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Commanders up first on offense as we begin this third quarter. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. Two-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives, try and slow things down a little bit. And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
To throw is Daniels. Quick slant to Brown.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now Daniels. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And McLaurin going to pick up a Commander's first down as he'll get this down to the 47-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
That's to McCaffrey, complete. A little tough on the secondary there, in zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back end. Send someone else, drop someone else out of the line. The old zone blitz could...
And he'll score. Touchdown, Commanders. Deebo Samuel, 40 yards. And the Commanders are back within a score.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And it's Deebo Samuel who caps things with a touchdown reception.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Seahawks offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. They're going to look to throw.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow them to convert a 3rd and 18.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to make...
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Out of the gun, Walker with it.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Naturally so. The defense was keyed in on everyone but the back on that play, and it took them an extra second to react when he got the carry. It's still a tough third down to pick up here, but a lot more manageable after an excellent carry on second down.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
Bobby Wagner, multiple times an All-Pro, in there to drop him for a loss. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
So out comes Washington's offense to take over.
Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
And you're starting to sense the momentum possibly changing just a little here. You get the touchdown your previous drive, then you force a punt, and now this is a good positive play here to start this drive. And you can just sense the tide starting to turn here in a one-score game.
Throwing now is Daniels.
Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll bring up second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Second down and 8. To the air goes Daniels. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 36. And we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 36. Here's Daniels. This will be caught by Brown and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively, but they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Off the play fake, Daniels. Short throw here to the tight end Bates. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Daniels looking to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 19 yards that time for number 19.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Jaden Daniels scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And the Commanders have scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front.
That's a great alternative there to the old-fashioned quarterback sneak. Instead, let your quarterback take it in the shotgun and essentially choose his own path. He scans the situation, makes the right read, and takes it into the end zone on the QB draw.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. They'll get this complete to the tight end Barner. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Commanders Field. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Up the middle, here's Walker. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 11. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Commanders' offense and Jaden Daniels getting set for this next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The end result, 21 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Looking to throw. Daniels. Open man is Samuel. Complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more on that one and another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down. Stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. Oh, and a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 22-yard line. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Play action. Now it's Daniels. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
2nd and 6. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot. They go play action. Daniels. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
Second and 10. Slot man moves right. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. Oh, and that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass is going to turn into a loss. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Oh, here's a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Robinson. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line.
Well, let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This will get the lead up to 7. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Gay knocks this one through. And the drive field goal attempts for him until the final quarter, but no hesitation on his end. He comes right out and nails his first field goal try.
And give him a lot of credit, too, because he stood there the entire ball game, but has managed to stay with it both mentally and physically. When they called on him, he was ready, and he knocked it through the posts.
And he returns this to the 22. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Here's 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Back to throw. Complete, Valdez-Scantling. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Back to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
Here's second down. They'll look to throw. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's third and long.
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Jackson Smith-Njigba.
55 yards.
And the Seahawks are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. And what a throw that was, Charles. You think about the situation, close game, fourth quarter, rookie quarterback. He doesn't seem phased one bit.
So much for bright lights, big city, and will he wilt? Not at all. The stage not too big, the moment not too big at all. They needed points on that series, and not only did he produce a touchdown drive, but how about finishing it off with a big play that only adds to the momentum that they've already established.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Commanders' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. To throw is Daniels.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
They'll come up now on second down. Now Daniels. That's to McCaffrey, complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. What can they come up with here? It's 3rd and 7.
Eluding the pressure, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well.
On the return is Sims. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They can still get into field goal range, partner. They got to work quickly, though.
I agree with you totally. Find a way to get the ball downfield and out of bounds. In a perfect world, they know what hash they want to get to for their kicker, and they already know the distance that he feels comfortable. That'll dictate what they do on offense.
See if they can get in his range. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And we will get a timeout. with 2 ticks left.
The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts.
And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So now this one will rest on the right foot of Jason Myers. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they'll be celebrating in Pioneer Square tonight. The Seahawks have won the game.
What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we sign off from Landover.